secret talks, not just for players that we're trying to get into Manchester United, but the message has been made very, very clear about one player in particular off the scene right now, actually first team Manchester United player. The door is there. There's the exit. Unless you want to sit it out on the bench. Who are we talking about? All will be revealed. Get involved in the chat, everybody, as well. We've got updates on Greenwood, on Sancho, other possible targets as well. Congratulations to all of the players that are at Manchester United that are in the latter stages of the Copa America and the Euros. Let's forget about the Euros for now, though. That was yesterday. Well done, England. I'm sporting my Gareth Southgate shirt right now. That's all you're going to get in terms of England performances and England talk in this show. It's all Manchester United. What has Ten Hag been saying? What is he demanding? Where is he going with his, with what direction is he going in this summer, in what he wants? It's been made very, very clear. I want to get into that first. Welcome along, everybody. A little bit different on the Sunday. It is still the paper round. We're going through all of the morning papers. Most of the stories have come from the papers today. And there are some others going online now, taking snippets from them papers. So we're covering all of that and getting your comments in as well at the same time. So get involved in the chat. Make sure you get your comments across. Slightly different setup to the normal paper round today. Everything is a little bit all over the place with the Euros, so we're getting in the normal studio. I have got the croissants on the go. They are here, everybody, so don't worry. Yep, there they are in the corner. I'll just keep popping them up for anyone who's wondering. But yeah, let's take them out. There you go. That's everything covered. Let's get on with the United talk, shall we? Hello, people. There is a poll going up right now. Sorry, I have made a little bit of a grammar error in there. But you know what I mean. Harry Maguire. Keep him this summer as cover or sell him while we can. Get voting on that, everybody, as well, please, because that's where we're starting today. Erik Ten Hag, Manchester United's manager, coach, whatever you want to call him, has been full on getting involved, and we know, like from previous videos, what we've been talking about, making phone calls to players, communicating with possible targets, trying to get the groundwork done ready for Ineos to hit the ground running when the Euros finishes and get these deals over the line. By the way, we have got an update on Referral Nistelrooy as well. Forgot to put that in at the start. But back to Ten Hag and where we're at with these players. But it seems like Erik Ten Hag has been throwing his weight around somewhat in terms of demanding players he wants to keep at the club, as well as players he really wants Ineos to make the decision on and move out. So Ten Hag, in the situation he's in right now, is he can make it very clear which players he likes, which players he doesn't. The pressure of dealing with that player now has been taken away. This is the beauty of the situation right now. So if Ten Hag doesn't like someone, straight away, instead of Murto just twiddling his thumbs and watching from the executive box, saying, oh, this is nice, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like a full house today, doesn't it, at Old Trafford? Money, money, money. No, you've now got a regime, a structure above Ten Hag that's going to go, excuse me, why is this player not playing? Okay, let's move him on. Let's not have any deadwood hanging around. This is the Ineos approach. This is why it's important that Ten Hag and his communication with Ineos is there. You've seen reports this morning going out on social media, snippets from papers and reports from media outlets online about Dan Ashworth ready to sell Harry Maguire. Now, Harry Maguire obviously does not want to leave Manchester United. He made that abundantly clear last summer when he could have gone to West Ham and didn't. Stayed at United, wanted to fight for his place. Credit to the man. He fought for his place. He got back in the side and did have an half-decent season for Harry Maguire and his standards of the season before. Let's just say it like that. But now, with the new regime in place, Ten Hag has spoken with Harry Maguire, I think privately has been reported today in the Daily Mirror, that he is going to have to accept another season on the sidelines, i.e. on the bench, because he wants Matthias de Ligt. He is going to be his number one choice alongside Ligt. And if another player is brought in, which is rumoured to be, if Lindelof moves out, he's going to move Harry Maguire further down the pecking order as well. So he's pretty much left it in Harry Maguire's court, but in doing so, also put it into Dan Ashworth's court. And that's why you're seeing the story take on this new lease of life, where Dan Ashworth now wants to make the most out of Harry Maguire and isn't going to accept that Manchester United are going to lose out on such a significant signing, i.e. the investment, the 80 million that we put into Harry Maguire in the first place. We need to get something back. That's the story coming out from Dan Ashworth, but it's come about simply because of what's been said regarding Ten Hag talking to Harry Maguire privately and making it clear to him And this is what it needs to be this summer, because it needs to be cutthroat. We need to know who are the right players, who is behind Ten Hag, and what the right way to move forward is with this current squad. I think we all know that Harry Maguire's time at United and his days are numbered. We don't mean that in any bad way. We don't mean that that's the end of his career. Obviously, there is a time when a player's contract comes to an end. He's got one more year left. And the story from the Mirror itself, which has gone on from the one I just said about Harry Maguire's conversation with Ten Hag, reads, Dan Ashworth is ready to sell Harry Maguire. He is desperate to not lose an asset that the club paid 80 million for, and lose 80 million next summer. Like, not get anything back next summer, because that's the situation. That's why I've put the poll up in the chat for you guys to decide right now. Would you sell Maguire, get the money while we can? Do we need cover, knowing that we are quite desperate at the back and don't have many defenders? What is more important right now to Manchester United? What is more important to you, United fan, that we have got in place going into next season? Is it important that we've got plenty of centre-backs to choose from? Or should we just start now, set the precedent now, set the standard now, and go, you know what? We need to just start acting like this no matter what's happening with the squad. Get rid of players when we can. Start running like a proper football club. Our proper finance side of the sporting aspect of the club as well. Sell Maguire, whether it's 10, 15 million. Look, we just need to start moving players on. Like, we need to make money for players. Like, we 100%, I feel, should be getting rid of at least 5 or 6 players in this sort of category this summer. And there are quite a few of them. Yesterday, we obviously heard the news about Donny van der Beek being another one of them players that, you know what, 1 year left, we're just going to have to take the hit. Ineos are acting the right way, I feel. Ineos are acting like a football club. They're looking at it as a new regime coming in and going, there is nothing we can do. It's completely out of our hands what's happened before. What can we do to make the situation easier for us and help Manchester United moving forward from here? Take the hit on Donny van der Beek. Take the hit on Harry Maguire. Try and get as much money as you possibly can. Harry Maguire has got clout. Harry Maguire does hold value for Manchester United. Be interesting to see where you guys actually think. I have asked this before, but it was a while ago now. After Harry Maguire's season, what do you value Harry Maguire at? Because this, for me, like the Lindelof story, I think was a no-brainer. We knew that Lindelof was going to be moved on. Like, he isn't good enough anyway. Another player, 1 year left on his contract. Anybody who thinks that the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, players that have got 1 year left on the contract, are going to walk out that door for nothing next summer with Ineos in charge, just need to rethink it. They're not going to get contract extensions. I'd be amazed if they did. Ineos cannot afford to lose money. They cannot afford to lose the opportunity to get anything for any player right now. Maguire, I don't feel, will be allowed to run his contract down under this new regime. This structure will not allow it, I don't think. And Manchester United are looking at everything in a completely different way now. You've got to accept it. This is the big change that United fans need to realise is going to happen at the football club. We are not going to lose as much money as we did before. We're not going to allow... Like, if Ineos were in charge, there's no way that Raphael Varane will be leaving his football club on a free. Obviously, if they'd have bought Raphael Varane in the first place, which they wouldn't, which kind of kills the argument completely, because they know they would have been stuck in this situation right now. I mean, straight away, you know that for certain, because Omar Barada has already turned down the chance to buy Harry Maguire. He didn't want to pay the money. He knew it was a bad signing in terms of the package and how much Leicester wanted for him. He moved past it. He looked at it and went, no thanks, that's not going to help us out one bit. So that's where we know going forward Manchester United are going to cut their cloth according, I feel. And this is where we're going to get the bigger decisions made and the more cutthroat decisions coming from the hierarchy of the football club, because we cannot afford it in the situation we're in. Yes, we're hoping that we get back into the Champions League, but there's always that contingency, that other plan that you need in place. You might not get there this season. We may see an improvement in the style of football, but you know what? If you're integrating a few new players into the squad, obviously we're cutting the squad down, a few youth players are coming in, maybe it doesn't click. Maybe we can see some improvements, but it doesn't get to the stage where we're actually back in the Champions League next season. And we have to deal with the finances again. We cannot afford to be going into next summer in a similar situation that we're in right now. So expect big decisions being made on player contracts and player sales. It has to. Otherwise, we are running the risk of it going wrong for Ten Hag, and then next summer being right up shit creek with no finances and no money. I do want to make a point of that financial fair play and PSR ruling possibly changing going into next summer's transfer window, though, because that could still come in. There is an awful lot riding on the situation with the Premier League and Manchester City right now. I think it's delayed the announcement of PSR changing and the rules changing to squad ratio rule for financial fair play, like it is with UEFA, to the Premier League version, PSR. So, yeah, I think that has to be brought back into it. And obviously, clubs will then start to look at financial fair play in a completely different way as well. So, yeah, very interesting situation evolving there with City in the Premier League, affecting everyone in the Premier League with that. But we have to just look at what we've got. We cannot take that for granted and just say that's going to deal with itself and we're going to be okay. No, we have to act with what we've got. We have to make sure that we're covering all boundaries here and make sure that possibilities that can earn the club money, that are not going to earn the club money next season, are dealt with. And this is the right time. It is the right time to sell Harry Maguire. Now, do we bring another centre-back in? I think Lindelof is gone. And Harry Maguire's situation is a difficult one for United. It is, because we can get more money for him than we can for Victor Lindelof. Are we going to push to a point where we've got Ligt in and we're not sure about that other centre-back? Are we going to get to that stage? That's what we need to look at. That's the important thing in this situation with Harry Maguire. And Dan Ashworth in place, he's probably already got 2 or 3 deals lined up where he knows this is the difference with the structure. So Dan Ashworth, I can sell Harry Maguire. I could probably get 20-25 million for him right now. But the difference this time is that money isn't just going to get lost into Manchester United. That money's going to go. Dan Ashworth will already have, as a director of football, 2 or 3 targets lined up. Harry Maguire goals. This is simple. Like, you could. I'm not saying that Anselmino, for instance, at Boca Juniors is the answer. But you could have that player lined up, ready to come into Manchester United. You could have another centre-back lined up to come into Manchester United. Harry Maguire's sale could be the difference to getting Branthwaite over the line, for instance, as well. That's what you have to look at with having a director of football and a properly run football club structure in place. That's the important thing to remember in all of this. It's not like it was before. Selling him, where's the money going? Like, we're all worrying like it's not even going to get used or put back into the football club and buy other players with. No. This time it is. Like, you've got a structure in place, which means if they make a decision to sell Maguire, they will, I hope they will, I'd have thought they would, have 2 or 3 targets lined up that money is going to be used for. That's how it works. It has to work that way. Otherwise, it's pointless them being there. They're there to take United to that next level. They're there to make a point to everybody on the planet that we are the structure that's going to bring United back to the glory days. That's what it has to be. And you know what? I feel like they will have that in place. I'm confident that they will have that. I'm going to get into your comments quickly on this one before we move on. Yes, so I just seen a comment pop up there regarding Kilman. So Maguire to West Ham, that was discussed the other day. So I think I was talking about that with Saeed. So that actually now meaning that West Ham won't be in for Harry Maguire, who everyone knew was the biggest admirers of Harry Maguire last summer. And that was the easy way out. So they've bought Kilman from Leeds. Good signing, by the way, for them. And now where does Harry Maguire go? There is rumours and there was stories coming out not too long ago, in fact, that Harry Maguire is attracting interest from Italy. So that news may start to come around again. Ten Hag has made it clear. Harry Maguire is not first choice. Harry, what do you want to do? He's bringing in possibly 1, maybe 2 more centre-backs, which is going to bring him down the pecking order again. Find another club. Dan Ashworth's there. Omar Barada's there. Jason Wilker. Everything that's there is in place for Manchester United to now already have targets lined up to replace him, and they will let Harry Maguire know of that situation. What do you want to do, Harry? I don't think they'll allow him to run that contract down. And Harry Maguire needs to be playing bleeding football. He does. He's got to start thinking, as crazy as it sounds, he's got to start thinking USA 2026. That's what he needs to be thinking of, the World Cup. Because let's be honest, he will be going to that World Cup. Even if Southgate's not there, I think Harry Maguire has got a good chance of getting in that squad. So he'll be thinking this is my last chance. Southgate's not going to be there to back me up and just put me in the squad every single time an international tournament comes around. I'm going to have to be playing football now for a change. And it will be his last England international tournament. You can guarantee it. With the players coming through, Gehi, Branthwaite, obviously you got Stones there already as well. He isn't going to be flavour of the month with England either. So Harry Maguire and his people need to be looking at this differently now. And this is where everybody said it's the same old United. Well, it's not. This time it's not, because the contracts are running out. The situations will, they will manifest themselves in players leaving Manchester United. They have to start looking ahead. Like, Maguire knows this, and when you put everything together, it will all come to a head, and Maguire will have to leave Manchester United, I feel. That's if Ineos really put the pressure on. I just can't see him giving him a contract extension. I don't see them letting him run it out for nothing either. I think they'll do the best to help him out in making a move, personally. That's where I'm at. I'll get your points on this now, guys. By the way, 79% of you said sell him this summer in the chat as well so far in that poll. Keep your votes coming in on that. We've had just shy of 300 votes already on that one. Keep involved in that, guys. And if you're listening in later when the video is finished, guys, get involved in the chat. Comment below and let me know what you think. Would you sell Harry Maguire this summer or risk losing him for nothing next summer, next transfer window, basically? 30 million for Maguire, says Kenneth. Altios, they will sit out the contract till next year. It's going to be 3 years before we get rid of all the deadwood. I can't see him sitting it out. I don't think, like, literally, I just don't see Ineos allowing this to happen. I don't. I really don't. They will take what United didn't do last season. Like, the reason Maguire did not leave last season was because United wouldn't pay out his contract. So Manchester United selling him to West Ham for 30 million would have been 20 million, because we'd have to pay off his contract, which was probably worth about, it was probably worth around about 10 million at the time. So they would have had to pay it off. So 30 million becomes 20 million. United weren't willing to do that. So that's why he didn't go last summer. Obviously, he kicked up a bit of a stink himself and said he wanted to stay. So the club, in the end, just went, you know what, he's going to save us money. We're buying a new goalkeeper. We need to move forward with this. So that's where it got to with Harry Maguire last summer. Now, it's a completely different scenario with Ineos in place. So let's see what happens. I think they will take a cut price offer for him, just to allow someone to give him the right wage structure that he needs. But he's a smart man. He knows what he's doing, and he knows if he wants to be in the England squad, he can't play at Manchester United anymore. That's the difference, I feel. That will be a big thing in Harry Maguire's side of this argument. USA 2026. I guarantee it. I may be wrong, but, you know, in my head, I'm guaranteeing it. Anyway, guys, yes. Make sure you do subscribe as well, guys. Keep hitting that button if you are tuning in for the first time. Yes, it's Adam. This is Forever United TV. Welcome along. Get involved in the chat, everybody. Thank you. We've had over 100 likes already, guys. I really appreciate that. Cal says, I'm genuinely curious, but why would you give Donny away to a City affiliate when we're about to sign his former captain and probably one of the best friends? Might as well check him out and let him leave for free. Cal, totally disagree. I think Donny just needs to go, mate. He's not good enough, never was good enough. We're talking about his captain coming in. Well, what about his manager who trusted him in Ten Hag? Even he didn't want Donny van der Beek at the football club. That tells you everything you need to know, and he's the biggest person in the argument with Donny. If he can't make it work for him, there's no hope for Donny. Get him gone. Good luck in the future, Donny, mate, honestly. Hopefully you make it somewhere else. It was never going to be at United, and Ed Woodward completely screwed Manchester United over with that signing. Jonathan says, I remember a lot of the fan channels saying that Donny was a great buy when we got him because it was seen as a cheap price. Yeah, mate, I think, you know what? I'm not going to hide behind that. I looked at Donny, I thought he's a great player from what I've seen at Ajax. But I fell into the trap again, like many others, mate. I'm not going to hide away from that. I thought Donny was a good signing. It was the mate weight to Grealish, wasn't it? We bought Donny because we couldn't get Grealish. We weren't willing to fork out the money for Jack Grealish, and City got him in the end. But no, Donny van der Beek, I thought, yeah, good. Scored on his debut, if you remember as well, against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford, I think it was. And it all looked great. And then it went wrong. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes a player just does not fit. Unfortunately for Donny, he's not fitting at many places at the moment. And United have just seen an opportunity and gone, yeah. By the way, the Donny van der Beek deal, it's been advertised up at like, what, 450,000, something like that. it's actually more. It could rise up with appearances for Girona to 5 million in total. That's where we could be at with it. So, yeah, just so you know, that's the basis of the deal. There's not much to talk about. He's a nothing real story, Donny. It's not going to affect our season. It's not going to affect our bank account. It's not going to help us in any way except another wage off the wage bill, over 100 grand at least, again, off the wage bill, so more room to structure better deals for other players. Ineos are moving along quite speedily with all of these deals right now, and it's good to see. That was porcelain on Donny van der Beek is a reason why Ineos has failed already. That's shameful. Andrew, I disagree, mate. He needed to be gone. Like, honestly, he's gone for free next season, and he doesn't play well. He's not played enough. He's been out to 2 other teams on loan and not made it. There is nothing we can do in this situation. It was a mistake, not from Ineos, but a mistake from the previous regime. Ed Woodward was the cause of Donny van der Beek and this situation that we're in right now with him, not Ineos. I think they've done right in just getting rid of him. There was going to be a point where we had to bleed and pay someone to get rid of Donny van der Beek. It seems embarrassing because we spent 40 million on him, but we wanted Ineos to act. We want players out. We want room for younger players to come through. And there you go. There's another space in the squad right there. Tom says the structure has zero power to force them out. They can sign pre-contract agreements from January. That's why I backed it up, mate, and said, look, on Harry Maguire's side of things, he knows that he hasn't got anywhere else to turn. Ten Hag has done his bit. Dan Ashworth will do his bit. Maguire's people will say, look, what do you want to do? One more year sat on the sidelines where you're not going to be able to put yourself in the market because you're not going to get game time. You're probably going to fall out of favour internationally. Do you know what? Like, he started picking up a few more injuries as well now, Harry Maguire. More time on the sideline isn't going to help him. He needs games. So I'm putting my money on Ineos trying to move him on. I understand what everyone's saying. Look, no power. They can sit it out. Player power has preference over everything these days. It does. I understand that completely, everyone. But you've still got to look at the situation and go, for the player's side of things, he has to really think seriously about this situation. So we got there. Donny is around 6-7 million a year too, even though the fee is minimal right now. With the wages saved and the add-ons, it's better than losing him for nothing. 100% agree. What else have we got in here? David says, bad how Manchester United treated the women's team. Finn, that's why loads left. They've done some good things, but they've made some really big decisions as well, which have upset a lot of people at Manchester United. They're going to have to just deal with that situation. The Shield has donated a membership that's gone to Kieran. Welcome to the Members Club. And please do thank the donator in the chat as well if you can. 50% sell on. Yes, with Donny's decent deal as well there, says Ben. That was 100% right as well. There is a lot more to it. Like, the initial fee looks crap. It does, doesn't it? It looks shocking. But, hey, look, beggars can't be choosers. The situation we're in with Donny right now is he's not going to play for United. No one's going to fork out a lot of money. We've just saved a good chunk of change in his wages. See you later, Donny. Bit of a space for another player to come through for Manchester United. We're making gaps. This is what we've said all the time. My biggest issue with United has been the blockers, like Donny van der Beek. Coming into pre-season, he needs game time. So rather than us looking at a possible potential youth academy player coming through and getting a bit of game time so we can look at him, we have to play the likes of Donny van der Beek because he needs to be... He needs game time. He needs to be seen if he can do anything for United. It's like last summer, building up to the tour like Donny played, and I'm just like, there's no point because he's not going to get in the team. Ryan says, afternoon, Adam. Love you, my guy. Groundwork as always. Ryan, lovely. Thank you, mates. Appreciate all comments like that. Keep them coming in. Cannot believe Donny's 27 already. Wish him all the best and hope he regains the form that we all saw he is capable of at Ajax. I second that. I do hope he finds something and he can carry on. His level is not United and the Premier League, unfortunately. I think it is the Eredivisie. Maybe at Girona he'll discover something. I think that's a tough league for him as well, honestly. I think he'll struggle there. And them so-called add-ons and appearance money that we could get from him, I think that might be a bit of a long shot, guys. Just my prediction. That's my opinion of Donny, my sole opinion of him. And you know what? You're all welcome to your own, and I appreciate all of your comments coming in. But yes. So, on the De Ligt side of things, we're talking about Harry Maguire there as well. De Ligt, there is a contrasting report right now with Florian Plettenberg and Christian Falk from the German side saying that there's been no communication or bid made or contact between Bayern and Manchester United over a price for Matthias De Ligt. Now, we know personal terms are no issue. Everybody's said that. Everybody has made that very clear in reporting on this story. But we're also hearing now from Romano, early just this morning, that De Ligt and Manchester United with Bayern Munich, everybody is together, the clubs are communicating and bids are being discussed. So there is contact between both clubs. So the German side is saying no. Fabrizio is saying that there is contact. Again, differing reports on the situation with Matthias De Ligt at the moment. He has categorically made it clear to everybody, according to the same reporters, that he doesn't want to go anywhere else. And Manchester United, and specifically Erik Ten Hag, is where he wants to be playing his football. That's what he has made abundantly clear and will happen. It just depends on the fee now and what Manchester United can get out of Bayern Munich. That's all that we're waiting for now. That's it. But it will happen. De Ligt will come to Manchester United. It's too far down the line for it not to. This is according to all of the reports, and you can sort of make your own mind up if you think it's going to happen or not. But I don't think there's anything standing in the way of De Ligt to Manchester United. Ten Hag has made it his priority. He's demanding that transfer come through from Ineos and Dan Ashworth, and he wants him in at the football club. It's as simple as that. That is going to be his starting lineup. He wants Martinez and he wants Matthias De Ligt, his centre-back partnership. What does that tell you then, again, to the reports of people saying, like Romano, who says that Branthwaite is definitely still a top target for Manchester United. They still want to go for him. All the papers are jumping in on that, what Romano has said as well, and going off reports from the week. It's pretty much what this weekend's reports have been about. So you have to sort of dive deeper into all of the stories and try and find out what's going on. The most interesting was Ten Hag's thoughts on this, and the report of him actually speaking to players now and telling them where they're going to be next season is sort of lining them up for them to make a decision alongside the Wilcoxes, the Dan Ashworths of this world. It's great to see. It is. Not in case of like the way that these players are being treated, but this is how Manchester United should have been acting all along. Ten Hag has made it clear, and this is probably what we're going to see going forward now. Ten Hag has his ideas, he puts them through to Ineos. I'm not going to be playing Harry Maguire. Dan Ashworth would want to know about that so he can deal with the situation and try and make something of it with 1 year left to go. Matthias De Ligt's going to be number one, apparently. He's going to play alongside Martinez. So what does that mean in terms of how much money Ineos would then spend on another centre-back if Maguire goes? Is it going to be the Anselminho, again, just an example, not saying that we're going for him, type of defender? 20 million, young, someone who won't mind sitting out a little bit, we can develop as well, be ready to come in when De Ligt gets injured or Martinez gets injured, touch wood, 5,000 bleeding times, don't get injured. But you know what I mean, the situation is going to come about again, isn't it? And United will have to deal with it. And having the right type of player in the squad, a younger one, I think is why he's gone for a big name, someone who expects to play in De Ligt, and they probably will play De Ligt. And then he'll have younger players around that just want to be there, be ready to go, take their opportunities. And I think they will actually get their opportunities going forward. And that's what I think will happen. That's what I think will happen. 150 likes, guys. Thank you. Over 700 in the room with us right now. Thank you so much. Keep liking the video and do hit that subscribe button, guys. Fresh, right on the button content every single day. There is a new show coming up next week. I'm just going to surprise you with it. That's what you get here on FUTV. There's going to be another one coming in as well, guys. We're up in the content. Yes, we are. Be ready for it. It's coming. And yeah, I'm just going to surprise you. I'm not going to even tell you what it's going to be. There you go. I follow Italian football closely, unlike some of the other members, and I can tell you categorically De Ligt really struggles against quick-footed, pace-forward players. I wonder how Erik Ten Hag will use him. in the high press with probably Martinez and the fullbacks doing the covering with the pace players. Ligt dominating, starting off the moves from the back, controlling the game, the pace of the game. I'm not discrediting his passing abilities and things like that, but there's a structure and a way that Ten Hag wants to play. And if he's got a centre-back and a former captain that he's bringing in that he knows can play that way, then we're going to have to see if he can make it work in the Premier League. If buts, maybes, 100% yes. But right now, all we can do is trust in Ten Hag and hope that he gets it right. It's a massive summer for him, as well as every player in Manchester United and this new hierarchy at the football club. So, yeah, looking at it, you've got to say it's all on the trust side of Ten Hag. All eyes on him if he can make this work this season. But it is a positive, and it is it's, for me, more looking at it like Ten Hag, fresh, clean slate, Ineos doing what they do and just leaving him to work. And you know what? With an injury-free season, again, I'm going to end up denting my hand here, touching the wood that much in prayers that we're actually going to get an injury-free season. But I feel like we are going to be... it's all hot. I'm not even going to say it. Honestly, I'm just saying, like, right now as a fan, I want it to be a better season, and I can feel a fan coming out of me, like, just that hopefulness. I'm just going to curb it and just say, I'll just wait and see. I'll just wait. It's the expectation, anticipation, and hope that kills you as a fan. But I like what I'm seeing, and hopefully it carries on into the season. I'm not going to get carried away with what happens this pre-season or in the transfer window, because I've seen it before. I've seen Van Gaal's first season at Manchester United. He won every single game in pre-season. I thought, we've cracked it. This is it. This looks good. We look fantastic. First game of the season, complete collapse, and it all went tits up from there. And that will always live with me. That will always be there, and will always be a reminder every time I think that something good is happening in pre-season. It happened in Ten Hag's first pre-season. It looked great. He had a front line of Rashford, Martial and Sancho, and everything looked fantastic. From the sidelines, I thought, we've cracked it again. We've got the right man. And we've never seen that front line ever play together again. It was mental. 25 million for Maguire. Andrew says, since Pogba, we haven't had a ball carrier who can run past players in midfield with ease. True. I think Paul Pogba definitely, wrong attitude for me. Great player. I think a career spoil and a career ruined is what Paul Pogba is. Now that's how I would sort of describe Paul Pogba's career. Definitely. Another midfield. Moving on to midfield, actually, Andrew, you've taken me into that department there. Ten Hag, according to reports, has vetoed the Agate deal, but one thing he has also done has said he wants Amrabat re-signing. He wants Amrabat in his squad. Like, we all know the end of the season, whether you're Ten Hag inners, and we're going on at me because I seem negative behind Ten Hag and all of that, we all know that Amrabat came in and did a job, and Ten Hag sort of stumbled upon a system that worked for the last few games of the season. I say the last few games of the season because that's what it was. And unless you're adaptable, you will be found out. You cannot continue playing that system. But what it did do, I think, for Ten Hag, is give him an idea for a plan B. And he's never had one, has he? Let's be honest. Like, even the most starched Ten Hag inners, Ten Hag lovers, cannot tell me that there was always a plan B. There never was a plan B. There never was a plan B for Ten Hag. I think what he did with the false nine, Amrabat coming in, being that solid player in front of the defence, gives him that option of a plan B. It does. That gives him that chance to play a different system, a different player. I think Agate, if he comes in, will be a different kettle of fish altogether. I think it'll be a high energy, fast-flowing football. I don't think that's Amrabat's game. But what Amrabat is, he's disciplined and stubborn. In that City game in the final alone, you could see the qualities of Amrabat. You could see what his game is, and you could see why Ten Hag was trusting in him a little bit more. And that's why I think, seeing that Ten Hag got the extension, the the extension of his contract, Amrabat, in the news that we've been talking about the last couple of days, saying that he wants to wait out and see what Manchester United offer. He doesn't want to go back and play at Fiorentina. He wants to be back at Manchester United. I can see why he wants to do that, because he would have been encouraged towards the back end of last season. He would have liked what he's seen, the game time he was getting, the accolades he was getting, and thought, you know what, this was me showing what I can do at Manchester United. And that, I feel, is why he wants to go. Ten Hag's got the contract. He feels like he's got a chance. And so do I. But 13 million definitely is a bargain for Amrabat. That definitely is something that Manchester United need to be looking into. Agate, Amrabat, if you could get both of them in for 50 million, that's an all right summer in midfield for starters. Like, we need to adapt and we need more, but it may not come this summer. But for starters, let's plug that hole that was gaping and allowing everything to run through it all the last season, leaving the defence exposed, most shots on goal, more than Sheffield United, who got relegated, one of the worst point tallies ever. We had as many shots as them coming at us. So yes, let's plug that hole. Centre-backs, centre midfielders, holding midfielders, solidify there, build from the back. The age-old saying, isn't it? You build from the back. The foundation is your back four, and then you go into the midfields. I think Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno, Mason Mount. If Eriksen's sold on, I don't know. I think he will be in the end. But the attacking-wise, creative-wise, you've got players. You've got Ahmad there as well, who can drift across. Like I said, Mount and Bruno. Not too bad. We're missing an 8, I think. We're missing an 8 badly. Like Andrew said there, a ball carrier in midfield. Now, Agate isn't that player. He's not. But right now, we need to shore things up at the back. And Agate, I think, at that right price, is the right man for Manchester United. I think that's where we need to go. Plug that hole first. Be solid. Be hard to beat. Because last season, let's be honest, we were easy to play against. We had no idea going forward. And every single counter-attack that came against us, I was there. Like Bournemouth, Palace, Fulham, every single team coming to Manchester United, to Old Trafford, just walking through United's midfield. It was easy. We do need to cover all of these issues at United, but they're the most important ones. That defensive structure, the shape, and I think that does come with centre-backs and holding midfielders. I think that is where that whole setup starts from, and I think that's why United, Ten Hag looking at the likes of Agate, vetoing that deal, and then obviously Amrabat, get him in. I think that's right. It's the right way to go forward. I love Neves. I think he can wait a summer. I said that on a previous video. I think he can wait out another year, personally. And then we go from there. We go attack it again. And I think we can bring him in. There is an update on Mason Greenwood and Jadon Sancho. Interesting one, actually. Mike Critchley, from the Academy, has come out and said Mason Greenwood is set to benefit from an extended break while the club continues to work on a possible sale. Jadon Sancho should return to Carrington tomorrow, even if his differences with Erik Ten Hag are still not resolved. Interesting one. What does that tell you guys? For me, that says straight away Mason Greenwood is sold. That says Mason Greenwood is out of the door. Manchester United are finalising a deal. There's no point in him coming back to training, rocking any sort of boat whatsoever. He's going to be either Marseille, whether it be Lazio, whether Juventus come back in with another bid. It's just a case for me of Manchester United knowing where they are in the agreement or the transfer itself. They've lowered the price already for Mason Greenwood, and him not coming back to Carrington, that extended break when Sancho is being forced to come back, tells me we're nowhere near Sancho. He's going to be a problem all bleeding summer, as he always has been. And Greenwood, look, it's an easy sale, isn't it? It's an easy sale, Greenwood, compared to Jadon Sancho, for football reasons, obviously, and that being that he's on lesser wages, the fee isn't as bad, and United are more than willing to let him go. So negotiations should move forward quite quickly. Let's get into the chats. Let's see. Ain't Pogba suspended for 3 years? Yes, he is. I think due to injuries, Ashley Grimes played centre forward for a couple of games. That didn't work well. Not sure what that's about. Just thought, if we need a miracle, let's get Moses back. If Sancho is 5 minutes late tomorrow, fine him 75 million. Yeah. Kaylee, welcome to the chat. Agree, Adam, Agate ain't that great with the ball. but he's damn good off it, and we desperately need a guy like him. We need more butchers, aka leechers. We do. Sancho needs to grow up and apologise and get his career back on track, says Ivor. Dill says Ten Hag should rotate his squad more this season to help players to recover. Mostly just plays the same team repeatedly until someone's injured. Yeah, that does need to change. He needs to get a grip of that. It will cost us a fortune in nappies if we don't get rid of Sancho. We got to get rid. Samuel said he's staying. Some people have been reported about Jadon Sancho possibly staying. I mean, I've touched on it and tinkered with the idea a little bit of the situation going on and how this might come about, but I just don't see how unless there is meetings. I said this the other day. The only way that Sancho survives at United is the surroundings and the culture and the situation that's changed at the club while he's been away. He's coming back to a different Manchester United. He's coming back to Carrington. He's going to have Dan Ashworth there, Wilcox there. He's going to have a million things going on that are different to what was there last time. Maybe a meeting can be set up with Ten Hag, and maybe they will go over everything again. And maybe there is an apology down the line. I just don't know. Like that right-hand side. Honestly, give me Facundo Palestra. Give me him right now. And I'm an happy man. I'm an happy man. Like, I'd take, see you later, Sancho. See you later, Antony. Give me Ahmad. Give me Palestra. We'll look at the right-hand side situation again next season after them two players have been given a fair crack. And it may turn out different. Honestly, I think with Manchester United will finish higher in the league with Palestra and Ahmad than they would Antony and Sancho in the side. Anyone disagree with me on that one? Get your comments in. Let me know on that one. Oh, just about to hit 200 likes, guys. Give the video a like, please. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are tuning in for the first time. Get onto it. We've got loads of content coming up. We do everything different on FUTV here. Game days and everything that are coming up in the season, guys. You don't want to miss it. We're mixing it up big time this season. So make sure you are subscribed. Your notifications are on. And you're ready to go. We have just smashed over the 200 like mark. But yeah, guys, absolutely epic attempt from you as well. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy, I need to update you on that one. Kaz has just reminded me, actually. There is hope that at Manchester United, Ruud van Nistelrooy will take his place at Manchester United tomorrow alongside Ten Hag as well. One more story on that one regarding Van Nistelrooy. Actually, where is that story gone? Yeah, there was another one there. But yeah, Van Nistelrooy is supposedly on his way to England. Actually arrived in England, according to the story. And he's ready to sign a 2-year contract at Manchester United. The formalities are done. Everything is in place. All he needs to do now, the work permit is there apparently. All he needs to do now is sign the contract, 2-year deal, and United move forward. Away we go. Everything and everybody is happy. Hello, Mr. C as well. Hello, Mano. Me, Facundo, ain't good enough for any top 8 club. Disagree, mate, but you're welcome to your opinion there. I just don't think he's been given a chance, bud. That's all. I can see why people don't like him because we've not seen enough of him. That's my ultimate issue with this Facundo Palestra situation. We just don't give players a chance. We don't. We need to finish signing Sofian Amrabat bargain. We do, I think. 13 million, yeah, I'm all over that. That's a definite goal for me. Yes, but guys, I'm off to training. I'm going to round up the video there. Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. Your comments were banging this morning. Thank you, everyone. Loving everyone's involvement, as always. Make sure that you get your comments in below on the topics today. I'm going to leave a comment when the video finishes. I want you guys to get involved in. So I'm going to leave a comment there. I'm going to post a question to you. And I want you to get involved, get your comments in, reply to that one, and I'll get back to everyone again over the course of the day. But yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much. Please give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button, everybody. And I will see you all later on this evening. We have a different panel show. Jay is going to be back tonight. Louise is back on as well tonight. 6:30 later on, guys. Full-on breakdown. With a few more opinions on the show as well, as you guys love. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you later on. Have a great